So let's get started. So right here we have three Dragonmaid chambers. She is your searcher for spells and traps of Dragonmaids, and all the Dragonmaids have the current effect of special summoning one level 7 or higher Dragonmaid dragon monster, pretty much, uh, from hand to field. And then the Dragonmaid monsters also have the effect to bounce themselves back at the end of the battle phase to your hand, and then special summon one level 3 or lower Dragonmaid monster. So you can't really get Chamber out, right? So what you guys should know is that I run two Debris Dragon. Debris Dragon is somewhat amazing. That I found out just by going back in the past. Why I say this is because Debris Dragon really helps out the Dragonmaids. The Dragonmaids all have 500 attack. Yes, when he's normal summoned, they do get special summon from the grave to the field, but their effects are negated. Don't worry, that's not really holding the Dragonmaids back at all. That's like a giant plus. Because one, you can synchro summon. Two, you can link summon. Three, you have card effects to bounce the Dragonmaids back to your hand. So meaning that you're just getting pluses out of the Debris Dragon. Really. Uh, so you guys know, right here we have not kitchen, sorry. We have Ernest, right? What Ernest allows you to do, you can discard to special summon one level 4 lower Dragonmaid from your hand, right? This is like big play. You use this to help do your combos. I run three of her. Why? Because like it's not bad. She's like the best one out of all of them, to be honest. Then you got Lopera, sorry. Alright. So you can discard this and target one face up monster on the field. Players cannot activate that target's effect on the field this turn. So pretty much this is the best version of what was it? Effect Veiler. Only downside is that it's not a quick effect, so you can't use it on your opponent's turn. Sadly. Right? Next up we got Noldriel, the dragon version of Nurse. Sorry. You can this card, and target one monster in either graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. So, generally, you would not, and I repeat, you would not shuffle back your opponent's monster, you would shuffle back your own. Mainly, you would either choose the Breeze Dragon over here, or your Dragonmaid. That's all. Or you can shuffle back your Dark Magician and your Red Eyes, or your Stardusts. Right? Because why wouldn't you want to have your cards back? Sorry, I'm not trying to sound like a dickhead. But you have your Foolish Burial, your Minigators. The Dragon Maids are all simple. But what I decided to do that's different from most Dragon Maid decks is that I decided to add Stardust Dragon Assault mode, which is pretty much Stardust Dragon, but Solemn combined with Solemn Judgment. No, I don't see this card being used as much. The last time I talked about Assault mode was in my 2019 Assault mode deck. Jackin Stardust is still the best one out of all of them. Next, we have Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon. Like I said, this is the precursor to the Megaton in 2020. You're going to want to have a Red Eyes and a Dark Magician in your deck. It's just multiple pluses, like hands down. Especially since you got Varan Conda out already due to dual overload. You just use them to go onto Dragoon. And then if you really want to recover them back so you can use the second Red Eyes Fusion, you would just drop yourself Laundry. Laundry brings it back. Mind you, your deck is recyclable. That's one of the big things that you guys understand, right? It's just extremely recyclable. Two Call to Biodegrade so that you can negate your opponent's effect. If you guys don't have Call by the Grave, I suggest either you buying the structure deck or the Dual Devastator. Don't worry, this is not a promotional video. It's just that they're like the guaranteed ways of getting them, so you don't have to worry about anything. But if you don't have these two, most likely cheapest cards that you guys will find to replace them will be in the trap zone, and that is Chain Hold. Chain Hold negates the activation of a monster that responds to one of your card effects. And then your opponent would either banish one card from hand, it's their choice. But if they don't have a hand, per se, they have to banish the one copy from either their hand or their deck. So no matter what, you're getting pluses off of Chain Hold. But for Call by the Grave, it's a quicker card and everything. But I only run two. There's no need to run three in this deck. You got Changeover. This is a fusion card in order to fusion summon the Dragonmaid fusion monsters at the bottom right here. As you can see, we got House Dragonmaid and then her dragon form. Next up, we got Hospitality. Welcome. I don't see anybody using Welcome. I don't understand why, because to me, I think Welcome is an amazing card. For those that don't really know what Welcome does, I'll show you. Oh, wow. I went to that card. Hold up. It's not that easy, guys. This thing is annoying. Alright. All monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each Dragonmaid monster you control. So, understand that you guys are going to be controlling a lot of Dragonmaid cards. But, if you don't, you're just gonna have a somewhat higher attack, but this does affect all monsters for each Dragonmaid you control. And if you control 2 or more Dragonmaid monsters, you can target one Dragonmaid card in your graveyard except Dragonmaid Welcome and add it to your hand. So like I said, your cards will always be recycling, no matter what you send to the grave. Don't worry about sending Nodriel, sorry if I mispronounce it wrong, to the grave, because you can just recycle it back with Welcome. I run 2 of it because I believe that even though meta players don't really be running this card, I still think it's a good card. Hands down. I don't know why people wouldn't run it, but it seems like it's not beneficial to them as much as they would like it to be. You got Red Eyes Fusion. Obviously, you would use Fusion to fusion from the deck for your Dragoon. I run 2 of them because, like I said, you can recycle Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon into the deck. Have your second Red Eyes Fusion summon. And hey, if you have Red Eyes Fusion in your hand, guess what? You might have a possibility of having Dark Magician and Red Eyes in hand too. So, plus is there for you guys and me. Next up, we have the last of our spells. World Legacy Guard Dragon. World Legacy Guard Dragon allows you to special summon or add to hand one level 4 lower dragon type monster. Look at that. You guys can add yourself a Dragonmaid or a Debris Dragon, preferably Debris Dragon, because you get more pluses when you normal summon him. Like I said. Also, when you play this card, you are allowed to move the dragon monsters around on the board to open zones. That's also one of the pluses. So if you do go into one of your guard dragons down here, you are able to move them to a zone so that you can have more than one zone pointing at them. Next up, you got Dragonmaid downtime. Return. So you can target one Dragonmaid monster you control, right? Return it to the hand, and if you do, add one Dragonmaid card from your deck to your hand. Like I said, the Breeze Dragon back again. Like, I haven't seen much people saying that, and I'm sorry that I'm repeating it, but like, when you have the Breeze Dragon and you run this card, it's pretty much, hey guys, I'm here, I'm square, and I'm ready. Normal summon the Breeze, special summon your Dragonmaid, and then just watch the deck work by itself. The other effect is that you can return that Dragonmaid you selected to the hand, and if you do, return one spell or trap card to your opponent's hand. There's another plus. Now you got three impermanents. Everybody know what impermanence does, but if you don't, if your opponent controls a face-up monster, right, you can negate that monster, and if they have a spell card in the back row, you're allowed to spell a trap card. They can't use that effect in the back column. And then last but not least, Assault Mode activate. Why? I added Stardust Dragon to the extra deck. He's right here. Stardust Dragon is like one of the most common cards, and for you guys to not have him, it's hard to believe. But if you don't, he is going to be a rare in the Toon Chaos, and he is easily attainable in the dual power. He's like 50 cent or 10 cent if you go to a card shop. Not looking for the OG version, but like the new version of Stardust Dragon Art design. So like some of the cards is cheap. I'm not gonna lie. It's just that Kitchen Chamber is and World Legacy Guard Dragon is expensive, especially Imperm. That's that's like one of the reasons why I didn't get the deck. Now on to the side deck, right? We have ourselves Ash to negate the opponent. This card right here, big man, big plays, big brains, everything you need in a dragon, right? This card is called Decoy Dragon. Old cards, I believe it was in the 5Ds eras it came out. I don't know if people have this in their uh, stockpile of cards or not, but I recommend you have this in your side deck or you main this card in the deck. You can replace it with whatever card you want. So what this card does is that if he's being targeted for an attack, you can target one level 7 or higher dragon type monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. If you do, change the attack to that monster, right? And perform the damage calculations. So what we need to know is that having your metal dragon, your stardust dragon, your dragoon, anything in the graveyard, as long as your opponent does not negate this monster, and trust me, it'll be a hard time to negate this monster no matter what, you are definitely going to be able to special summon any of your level 7 and higher monsters. Like I said, this deck does love dealing with higher level dragons, and he's easy to get out. Right? I recommend running 2 of him. Yeah, hands down, no other choice. I won't give you guys one. Sorry. Next up, Phantasme. You can special summon him and then draw to the number of ratings that the link monster that your opponent summoned. Right? This card gone down in price due to dual overload. No, not dual overload. Yeah, dual overload. Sorry. Ancient Pixie Dragon. So if you're not running a field spell, most likely your opponent will be running a field spell. For those that don't know what he does, or she, correction, after resolving a field spell card that was activated during your turn, draw 1 card. Sadly, we don't have one, but if you guys do want to add one later on in the future, you can. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up attack position monster on the field, destroy that target. There must be a face-up spell card on the field to activate and resolve this effect. So, majority of the time, this card is getting its effect off. Hands down. No way it's not. But since I put it in the side deck, there is a chance. That's why it's in the side deck. But majority of the time, no way it's not getting its effect off. Why? Because these days people wants to play their field spell. They need the bonus. Some of the decks out here is mainly dragon decks. Sometimes you still got the end Emancipator deck. You got your spirals if those are still remnants surviving. You still got your Suki Village of the Spellcasters. Why? Because I believe that Ultrageist are coming back. Hell yeah! Like, come on, Ultrageist got 3 multi-fakers. Necros, you might see field spell coming on for them. So you're gonna have to run it. Alright, Next up, you got your 2 Pot of Avarice. Even though your deck is able to recycle, your opponent will most likely try to disrupt your plays or try doing something that won't allow you to add your cards back. So, what else? What other choice you have? Just use Pot of Avarice, you get your +2s, and then you can recycle back 5 of your monsters into the deck. Back to the front. If your opponent does not banish your monster, pray to God they don't. But if they don't, you use back to the front, special summon your big monsters, mainly your Red Eyes or your Stardust Assault Mode for negation. What sometimes you would use Hope Harbinger, right? Because Hope Harbinger just takes the spell as an attachment. But yeah, you do have a Jar of Avarice. Why would you use Jar of Avarice, you say? One, it can shuffle any type, so it's pretty much kind of better than Pot of Avarice. Kind of. The only downside is that you only draw 1 card and you have to activate it after you set it. But I don't really see a downside to it. It's there in the side deck if you need it. I didn't know whether or not I should just have Jar of Avarice over Pot of Avarice in the side deck, so I'm like, yeah, we'll just have 2 of it. Storm Dragon, right? Storm Dragon, the track card. I recommend you run it. Guaranteed, guarantee it. Half the time, your opponent will try banishing your cards. I guarantee it. No way your opponent won't try banishing your cards. No way you won't banish your cards. Because, hell, you're running Red Eyes. You're running Stardust. You're running cards that love to banish. Hands down. And then, at the end of the turn, if the cards are still there, and you need to recycle your card, they will definitely go back into the deck. So there's a chance of getting that card back from the deck again. Mind you, I didn't want to really run meta cards in this, even though this deck is kind of meta. I was trying to run outside the box cards, but it's not really that easy when Dragonmaids, don't blame me or don't hate me for this, don't have no fucking support. Like that. They don't got shit. Pardon my language. But they don't really have that much support. Uh yeah, sorry to say. Uh so for the extra deck, you got your Dragonmaid fusions. These are like must-haves. The Dragoon, by now you guys should know what he does. He's gonna break the meta when he comes out. I have a feeling they're gonna try doing something like semi-limiting him or limiting him. That's why I only ran 2. 3 is like overkill, and there wouldn't be a need for him. But if you do run him, you must, must have guard dragons on your side. I'm not joking. Run them guard dragons, boy. Guard dragons will save everything. Your opponents try banishing your guard dragon. Like I said, use the trap card. They want to negate the effect. Like I said, call by the grave, chain hole, try something. No offense. You have 2 Borolo dragon. So what you should do is that you should link for Vericonda, Predaplant, Anaconda, right? First, so you can have either 1 to 2 counters on negations. I wanted to try looking for more cards that I believe would work for this deck in order to help Borolo Savage do some of the negations with the Dragoon, but I don't really know what cards would work per se. Like I'm keeping this in the theme of dragons majority of the way, like as you guys can see. Uh, Hope Harbinger to negate. Stardust Dragon is there for negation and destruction, but mainly just to go into assault mode. Assault mode is like the only thing you would need for Stardust to be there for. And then you got the Red Eyes XCs because you do have a lot of level 7s. You can replace the Red Eyes XCs with Big Eye. I would recommend it, but Red Eyes XCs does do some burn damage and reduces stuff. So yeah. So thank you guys for watching my 2020 precursor to the Mega 10 Dragonmaid deck. I hope you like it. I hope you have a great day. And yeah.